Hey everybody, what is up? This is What's Up with Trove, episode number 17. So I do want to say in advance this week I have a slight sore throat, so if I stop if I stop a little bit more than usual to drink water or something, that's why. But yeah, so I apologize for last week. I was at an auction and it lasted a little bit longer than we thought. Long story short, we thought the auction, well, it'll probably become a longish story, but I was going to record on Friday, but we ended up going up to the auction on Friday. And then Saturday was the day of the auction, of course. And then we also saw that there was an auction on Sunday. And originally we thought it started at 10 o'clock in the morning. So we were going to go to the auction and then come back that same day, probably around mid afternoon, and I'd be able to record in the evening. But come to find out, the auction was not at 1 a.m. or it was not at 10 a.m. It was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it lasted until about 6 o'clock, and it's a 2 hour drive home, so it was about almost 9 o'clock by the time we got home with traffic and everything, and I was just exhausted. I was beat. I was moving boxes all day and bidding on stuff all day, and so it was just an exhausting day, and I just couldn't. I sat down, I got my daily login in Trove, and then I went to bed. It was just crazy. So I do apologize in advance for that. But this week I'm here and I'm rocking and I'm rolling. It's not just this week's patch notes this week. It's also last week's as well. It's kind of a mishmash interluded. Hit my mic there. That's probably gonna come back weird. But it's kind of a mix up of the previous 2 weeks patch notes this week. But aside from the auction, I didn't really do too much in Trove this week because I haven't been feeling super well. But about 2 days ago, I started feeling a bit better, and so today it was iffy. Probably about up until a half hour, 45 minutes ago when I finished up the show notes. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do a show tonight, but yeah, I figured I'd give it a shot, and what's the worst that could happen, right? So but I didn't really do too much. Just log in, get my daily credit, and log out, and maybe do a couple challenges in between. But the queue times were pretty crazy during the week, just like last week, and I played a lot of Minecraft in between. I started a hardcore map while I was waiting for the queue, and that was like my goal was to only play that Minecraft hardcore map during Trove's queues. And this week kind of put a stop to that because they officially have announced that the queues are, for the most part, gone, which is awesome. I don't know what they did. I missed a patch note or a hot fix or something, but they played with the servers or gave their hamsters extra helpings of kibbles or something. So the servers are working really phenomenal. I logged in about half hour ago, or not even half hour ago, like hour ago or something like that, and instant login, boom, authenticating your information, and then loading the world, and boom, done. You're playing Trove. So that's great. So happy, and I'm sure a lot of other players are happy that they have fixed that issue. So that's pretty good. But that's really been my week in Trove. Not too much at all. So I guess we can just go ahead and jump into the patch notes. Real quick update. We are now on Steam. According to SteamCharts.com, we are now at 58,709 all-time peak for Trove's population just through Steam. So that is awesome, and we're seeing more and more players every single day. So super excited, and launch is going crazy and awesome. And also, if you're watching the video, I've got a Tomb Raider up in the top corner of my screen because I still don't have my green screen fully set up yet. Working on the just fine tuning it, and I have to get a hook for my wall still. We found out we may not have to do a door necessarily for my wall, which is great. So I just got to finish up the finishing touches on that and get it all quote unquote duct taped together. So yeah, but in the actual news of Trove, aside from the population, sad to report that Grump and Tug, the lead, I want to say he was the lead artist on the team, today during the stream announced that he would be leaving Tryon. For I don't believe he said where he was going or what he was doing, but they are currently looking for a new artist. So I mean, congratulations to him. He's going elsewhere, and it must be a better job to do that. So good for him, and he will be missed, but his art will live on forever in Trove. Yay! Yeah. So let's see. Patch notes. I'm not gonna like specify what date it happened. So like I said, it's just gonna be a mishmash of the past 2 weeks together. But we our allies now dance with us, and I put a video on YouTube of a lot of the minions dancing, or the allies dancing with you. It's just a quick little snippet video, and I'll of course put a link in the show notes for it. But it just show it's just a nice little detail to Trove that adds a little bit more depth to it, which is pretty awesome that the devs are willing to take time to go in and individually put a dance animation for your allies. They're just essentially little floating dudes that give you stat buffs, and they're willing to let them dance with you. Very similar to how the Tomb Raiser dances with his or her allies. Now your pets, your allies will dance with you too. So better, stronger, and faster servers. Really awesome. Just again, fantastic fix. Whatever they did, keep up the great work. It's great. This week also, the Neon Dragons are officially launched. And that's not necessarily bad for the Azulian Dragon. The people who did not successfully get the Azulian Dragon, because no, we're good. I'm recording. Yep. Okay. Anywho, I thought I was only previewing my stream and not recording. That would have been kind of silly to talk for the past 10 minutes and not be recording. Not like I've ever not done that before. Anyway, so the Neon Dragons are in the game now. These are very awesome steampunky tech green and glowy dragons that are in Trove now. They have replaced the Azulian Dragon. So you can no longer receive Azulian Dragon souls from challenges, nor can you get the Azulian Dragon cages. Those have been replaced with the Neon Dragon cages this week. And I believe they go for about a month. So you have about a month to grind them out. There were a bunch of fixes and changes to how the dragon progression works, and I'll get into that in a couple seconds. But it's a far better system this time around. They learned everything that was bad about the previous dragons has been fixed and changed with this one. So really great changes there. But so we have a whole new cage for challenges. And the cages still work the same in how you obtain them. You go into the challenge, you do the tier 1 challenge, and you get the requirement of points, and you get a certain amount of cages, and then you do tier 2, and then tier 3, and tier 4. Pretty much that part works the same. Obtaining your cages is exactly the same. Nothing has changed in that retrospective. In that respect, there we go. But the contents of the cages has changed a bit. So with the Neon Dragon cages, you have an uncommon chance at getting Neon Dragon souls. You no longer have to craft the souls to get them, on top of having a very, very, very small chance at receiving them from the cages. If you get a Neon Dragon Soul, it will be from the cages, and they have actually buffed it. I think they said about 3 times. You will receive about 3 times the amount of dragon souls than you did last time. So huge buff to that, and I'm actually noticing that. I think I've only opened about 30 or 40 cages, and I'm already at 3 Azulian Dragon, or 3 Neon Dragon Souls. Sorry about that. So really nice change to that. They just took a whole layer out of there and just said, you know, it's tiresome to craft these souls. We're just gonna buff the drop rate and make it easier to get the dragon. And then a rare chance for dragon coins. Dragon coins are, of course, for making Pentaforge, or for making radiant gear through the crafting system. So those still work the same as before, but now they are only for crafting the radiant gear and the previous dragon souls as well. And I'll go over the new crafting system for the old souls in just a minute here. And of course, the usual chance to get flux and eyes as well from the cages. So I mentioned more. Stumbling over my words. So the Neon Dragon progression has it's no longer 50 souls to get your legendary dragon, or no longer is 50 souls to get the buff and 40 souls to get the dragon. There are now, let me count these here, 1 2 3 4 5 6, there are 7 tiers to the Neon Dragon progression line. Starting at 1 dragon soul requirement and ending at 100. Now, I know you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to get 100 dragon souls? It's RNG. Oh my gosh. It's not that hard because they buffed the changes, and so don't worry about it. And also, if you don't get it this month, remember, just like the Azulian Dragon Souls, and you will be able to obtain these later on by means of crafting. I'll quickly run over the tiers real quick of the Neon Dragon progression, and it's all also inside your badge system, so you can also take a look there and actually see it for yourself. But consuming 1 dragon soul will get you a Neon Dragon crown, which is a helmet cosmetic piece. 5 Neon Dragon souls will get you the Neon Dragon pet. It's the Neon Dragonling, and then 10 souls will get you the tier 1 mount, which is the Neon Fledgling, and this is just the straight ground mount. He doesn't fly, he doesn't shoot fireballs, he just rides on the ground and looks really neat. And then at 25 souls you get the Neon Arsenal. Now this is new to the dragon progression line, and it's really neat. It's just a set of cosmetic items that are neon themed, and they look really neat, look really nice. I don't have them yet, but I've seen some players running around with them, and they showed them off on the stream a couple weeks ago, and it looks really nice, and it's a pretty equal reward for 25 souls. Then after that, 50 dragon souls would get you the tier 2 dragon mount, the Neon Dragon, and that one is the one that glides. It doesn't shoot fireballs, but it does glide. I think at 90 speed, 5 less than wings. So, and then at 90 souls, you will get the tier 3 dragon mount, which is the legendary Neon Dragon known as Lambent the Neo Lord. That's Terminator. Neon, Terminator, techie. It all works. And then 10 more souls after that. The level 100, or not level 100. What is this, World of Warcraft? The 100 souls is the buff, which is 5% energy regen, 1 jump, and 50 magic find. Which is awesome. It's a nice buff, and increases, I think, the maximum magic find to roughly 400 if you have the cotton candy pet. So And I'm kind of concerned about this. And I mean, could just be me being super, super paranoid about it. But is it just me, or are they throwing Magic Find at us like crazy? Um, if I mean, we're already at 2 dragons and each one gives you 50 Magic Find, on top of the patron bonus, which is 200, on top of the passive bonus that you already received, which I think is 50 or 100, on top of the gear. So currently, if you can have a max of 400 Magic Find, that's insane. I mean, I'm already at 300 ish, and I'm getting shadows left and right. I have a bad feeling, a really bad feeling, that something is going to change with Magic Find soon, or I can't see them throwing much more Magic Find at us. If we get if we get 1 dragon per month, and it cycles on a 12-month basis, so we have 12 dragons and they constantly cycle, that's 1,002, or no, that's forgive my math here, 600 Magic Find, roughly, I think. Calculator here, 12 times 50. 600, yeah, there we go. Math is fun. 600 Magic Find. Passive default right there if you have every single dragon in a year. Now, I'm not saying that they will come out with 12 dragons a year and they'll recycle them at that, but in a year, if they keep coming out with one a month, we'll already have 600 Magic Find on top of the patron bonus, and it's just going to be an insane amount of Magic Find. So I have a really bad feeling something is going to happen to Magic Find. Call me superstitious. This is funny. That's a kind of a magic superstition. But call me crazy. Something's going to happen. I can just feel it. If nothing happens, awesome. That's great. But they can't keep throwing Magic Find at us because it's just it's not. It will break the game. If everybody has a ton of Magic Find, something is going to break. Something will. So something is going to happen. I can feel it with Magic Find, or what Magic Find does, or how Magic Find scales. It's just going to change. And if we go down this wagon trail here for just a half a second, and say that Magic Find is nerfed, that lowers the quality of the patron bonus, which then people will complain that it's not worth their $15 a month. And it's a scary trail to see them go down, and so I'm really concerned on what's going to happen with Magic Find. So excuse me for okay, I'm sorry about that. Dry throat, super fun. So that's my rant, I guess. That's my mini rant of this week. Is Magic Find is insane. But let's go ahead and talk about the Azulian Dragon Souls. These are the dragons from last. These are the first dragons that ever came out in Trove, and you can no longer get them unless you purchase Dragon Souls or craft your own. So crafting Dragon Souls, first off, this week removed Dragon Essence. No longer will it drop, no longer can you craft it, no longer can you obtain it. You can only find dragon essences. There is now officially a finite amount of them in the game, because you can no longer get them anymore. They are purely nostalgic and useless aside from crafting dragon souls. So you can craft an Azulian Dragon Soul with 4 dragon essences, 1 golden soul, and 50 glacial shards. So if you're holding on to your dragon essences, unless you're crazy like me, I like to hold on to some nostalgic stuff. I still have some weird, some of the crafting benches from Alpha, and they're just kind of cool to have. So I have 1 Azulian Dragon Essence, and I'm just gonna hold on to it because it'll be cool in 2-3 years down the road, just to say, hey, I got a Dragon Essence, woo, kind of thing. Hashtag nostalgic. But they're essentially useless. So if you're not super wanting to hold on to them, sell them off now while they're worth something, because they're just going to get worth less and less and less, because eventually people are just not going to need them, because there's going to only be a select few in the game. So it's not worth it to hold on to it unless you want to hold on to it for fun. I think. I'm also terrible at playing the economy game. I could be feeding you complete false information, so take that with a grain of salt. In my opinion, the Azulian Dragon Essence is essentially worthless unless you have a set to create a soul, in which case, then I don't know. But marketing's not my forte, so I'm terrible at making money in video games. I think I have under 3,000 flux right now. So, but since dragon essences are no longer obtainable, you can also create an Azulian Dragon Soul by getting 2 dragon coins, 1 golden soul, and 50 glacial shards. So, and the dragon coins drop from the neon dragon cages as well, I do believe. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I do believe they drop from there as well. Just a rare chance to get it. So you can still obtain the Azulian Dragon if you do not have it. It's just takes a lot longer and it's a lot more expensive to buy and also harder to obtain and takes longer to get. But they did go by their word and they did say it is obtainable. So don't worry if you're missing 1 or 2 souls because it won't be too hard to get. Boats now accelerate faster when not turning. Just a fun little snippet to throw in there. And this week we also got the new Adventurers boxes, the Panda Adventurers chest. You have a rare chance to get the Giant Red Panda or the Giant Fey Panda. And those were created by the very talented and skilled Fried Sushi. Great mounts, great awesomeness. So great all around. They're cute, they're adorable, they're awesome, they're fluffy, they're fuzzy, they're just snuggly. They're great. I've seen a couple running around in game. That's really about it for the game news this week. The store, Neon Dragon cages replaced the Azulian Dragon cages, so you can now buy Neon Dragon cages. The Chaos chest was also randomized, and I do believe, unless my notes are outdated, this week's theme is hard to find mounts. I'm seeing the turkey mount pop up on the auction, or not the auction house. I can't say that yet. It's like 3 months down the road or something like that. Or whenever we get one. Avram has confirmed we're getting one at some point in time, but don't know when. Auction house, that is. But anyway, seeing that pop up all over the place, and I think the Fey Rider, the little hoverboard, is also obtainable. So, yep, if you're a stickler for hard to find mounts, pick up your chaos chests and use up those chaos coins. There's also a slight change to the starter pack, and this I do believe was 2 weeks ago. So it's not really super crazy, but it no longer contains a minion. It just gives you 3 days of patron and a class coin. And they did some weird patch hotfix thingy to, if you bought the starter pack at a certain point in time, you got a free class coin. So there's that. So yeah, pick up the starter pack if you're new. It's a great package. I highly recommend to pick it up if you're new to Trove. That's one of the better packs in the game. The PTS isn't currently up right now, I don't believe. Excuse my clicking nonsense while I triple check my facts here and make sure that the PTS is not currently up and running. Here, dooby dooby doo. Do 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 do. Nope, not right now. At least at this moment, the PTS is not up, so there's no news there. Miscellaneous, weird, funky, crazy, hotfix, fun news. They added a whisper to the right-click menu for chat. Granted, broken shadow keys that will not work. However, they did fix this later on and gave everybody who had broken shadow keys free shadow keys. So there's a bunch of shadow keys going around for something. So crazy shadow key nonsense. So watch out for broken shadow keys in case they're still in the game. Be very careful, but if I'm not mistaken, they did fix it. Also, and this is a big sore spot for you fishermen and fisherwomen and fisher trovians out there. The game will no longer play sound when it's not in focus, meaning that if you're not actively on the screen, like if you bring up Trove and then you switch to Firefox or Safari or whatever your internet browser choice is, or switch over to another game, if Trove is not your active window, it will no longer play sound. And this, I mentioned that it's a big nerf for fishermen, because that was the easiest way to fish in Trove, is to cast out your rod, tab over to the other screen, listen for the whoosh, and then you could switch back over to Trove and pull the fish back in. You can't do that anymore. Trove has to be the active main window on your screen in order to hear sound. So it's really just a bad change for fishermen who would like browse the internet like myself, or Netflix and Hulu and all that other jazz. It still hasn't changed too much. Just make sure that Trove is actually up and on your on the screen somewhere and actively there while you're watching your show. Avram has also said, or somebody said on the forums at least, that that this was an unintended mistake, but excuse me, pardon me. Where was I? Oh yeah, that it was an unintended mistake, but you're supposed to be able to turn that feature on and off. So sometime soon, in the near future at least, they're supposed to be fixing, or like the next big content patch, they're supposed to fix that to where you can turn it on and off. So it's just a temporary break, and it will be fixed soon. So. And that's really about it in terms of news for the past 2 weeks. Last week was just really a bunch of fixes. The previous week was a bunch of fixes and just a bunch of quality of life stuff and dragons and all that good jazz. Weekly discussion this week, and I'm kind of a little late for this, but I did want to mention it. And there's a link to it in the patch notes, and if you're an avid forum watcher for Trove, you've probably already seen this. But they mentioned in the stream, and it kind of goes into wee bit spoilers, but it's all over Trove by now, so minor spoilers, I guess, very minor. There's a discussion on the forums called "Create a Boss Like a Boss." Basically, without going too deep into details to avoid spoilers in case you do actively avoid the forums for that reason, is there's going to be a feature in Trove called the Shadow Tower, and there's very minor details floating around Trove right now about it. But they released something called a Shadow Titan, and there's a bunch of concept art all over the place. They actually this week put a video up of it, and I tried to find a video actually to put up on the screen while I was talking, but I couldn't find one. That's why we have the Necro Raver dancer over there. But yeah, it's let me actually pull it up here real quick and quote it. This is from Fasty and the rest of the development team. The time has come, Trovians. We're asking you and your devious minds to create something new, something big, and with a temper. A Shadow Titan. Think outside the box, then get back in the box, and think about why cats love boxes so much. I mean, there's nothing going on in the box. Why is the cat? There's nothing going on in that box, cat. What's the appeal? Here's how this works. Take some time to think of a Shadow Titan that you'd like to see knocking your block off. What would it look like? What's its name? What 3 abilities would it use? From now until the end of the day, Friday, which is actually today if you're listening to the live stream. If you're listening into the future, I do apologize. It is over. But I think if you're listening to it today, by midnight tonight or 11:59 p.m. their time, it's like 4 hours. So if you're listening like right as soon as I post this, you have time to put your idea on the forums. But anyway, back to the reading here. Post your ideas in this sub forum, and there's a link in the show notes of where you can find the forums or find the sub forum. Create a new thread for each boss idea. Feel free to hop in and post in support of an idea, whether or not you have posted your own concept. We'll go through your ideas and pick some top contenders. Then give you the chance to vote for a winner next month. More info on that to come as well. Whichever tyrannical, terrifying titan, TTT, you select will be in game and poning face before you know it. Keep in mind that there are some elements we're not able to put into the game. So while you'll pick the winner, some elements may have to change a bit to fit the game. So basically, they want us players to become developers and create a boss for the Trove Shadow Tower, Titan Tower, Shadow Tower. There we go. Basically, create the boss and shoot them our ideas, and then everyone will come together, vote, and they'll vote, and we'll come up with a boss. Now, in alpha, and I'm not even going to go there. Ignore that. Anywho, weird tangent. If you played alpha, you know where I was about to go. But anywho, so they want us to create a boss like a boss. So if you have time, and there's still time, just a wee bit of time, a smidgen bit of time, like that much time left, you can submit your ideas. Otherwise, still go check out the ideas because there are some amazing ideas. I think somebody even went out of their way and drew a whole concept art for a Trove boss. It's crazy. A lot of talented people out there. So go check them out. It's awesome. Even if you have a chance just to go read them, it's great. So go check that out. And the link is also in the show notes for that as well. Last week also, I had mentioned, because I wasn't here, I did write on the blog just a snippet of Avram's Q&A. The servers went down for about, 2-3 hours last week, or 2 weeks ago, and 2 weeks ago? 1 week ago. Sometime the game went down for an optimization fix, and Avram did a huge AMA on Trove and everything, and that's also on the blog as well, the What's Up With Trove at blogspot.com, and you can check them out there. Also in the show notes as well, there's a link. But I had posted a code for an Insanistede, but as cruel and as crazy and devious as I am, I took out like 8 of the letters. So I want to really quickly put, and it's, I don't know if it's going to be, I don't know if the code will actually be in the show notes or not, because that doesn't seem fair for the audio listeners. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the code out loud right here, right now, and whoever gets to it first will get to it. Last week, I had asked for if somebody happens to crack the code to let me know so I could say in advance that it's claimed, but nobody got a hold of me, so I'm assuming it has not been claimed. I do apologize if it's been claimed, and so, yeah. So, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, 0. The code for the Insanist... Oh, wait. Head's going. Before I do say the code, if you, talking to you, right there in front of me, and if you're listening over the audio, I'm pointing to you right in front of me. If you already have an Insanistede on your account, please, please, please do not claim this code. What happens is you claim the code, you already have an Insanistede, and that code goes gone. That code is no longer valid, nobody gets the reward, and it's just terrible. So this mini contest of sorts is really just for the people who don't have an Insanistede and would like one. What happened is, I think it was what site was it? I think it was MMORPG.com. Had a huge, like, 30,000 Insanistede code list, and I've already gotten Insanistede, so I'm going to throw it out there to the world. So, just really quick, if you do have an Insanistede, please don't claim the code. Leave it for somebody who doesn't have the mount so they can get it. And I can't tell who uses the code, so there's no blame game. I'm just stating it as a fact right now. Let's all just be nice and let whoever doesn't have the Insanistede claim the code. I don't care if you take the code and give it to your buddy and tell them to claim it really quick. That's fine, as long as somebody who doesn't have the Insanistede yet is the one that gets the code. That would be awesome. So now this is the real time. This is it. This is now. Just do it. Rah! Here we go. I'm gonna do it. Okay, countdown. Ready? 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. He can't count. Okay, the code for the Insanistede is. Are you ready? Oh, you don't want the code? Okay, well, all right then. I'll see you guys later. No, I'm kidding. Okay, I'll really do it this time. The code for the Insanistede is W W Z J 3 N 3 3 T C W R E J C L G F C 3. All right, go. Rah! Zoom, 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 zoom. Crash Trove's website. Go, go, go. Ah! Insanistede. It's insanity. Okay. So that's it. That's really it. That's the show. Oh, wait, no. One more thing. Community spotlight of this week. Someone by the name of Bim created a Trove comic called Bim Bomb Boom. Check it out. Links in the show notes. It's awesome. It's hilarious. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's great. It's a great, great little mini comic. I think it's like 3 or 4 panels long, but it's hilarious. It made me laugh. Made my day. So big shout out to you, Bim. Awesome. It's great. Check it out. That's really going to be it. That's about it. I think that's it. For all y'all who are bailing out before the future of Trove, you can find me on Twitter at Alan91330. You can find me in-game as Tiny, and that's also how you can find me on the forums. Email the show at whatsupwithtrove@gmail.com. The show notes you can find at whatsupwithtrove.blogspot.com. That's where I put all of my links, where I write out everything. If there's not an episode one week, I post a mini little blog post. So I guess I pretend to be a blogger for a bit. If you like to not watch me on YouTube, because you can also find the show on YouTube as well. But if you don't like watching video and you want to listen to the audio, you like the sound of my voice more than my face, that's totally understandable. I provide an MP3 for the podcast. You can find it on SoundCloud, Stitcher, and iTunes. There's a link to that in the show notes as well, or you can just find me, What's Up With Trove, name of the podcast. It would be really, really awesome if on iTunes you guys can go and just leave me a review. It would be amazing. It would make my day. I would love you guys so much. SoundCloud views and YouTube views are one thing, but a lot of people like to look at iTunes reviews. So it would be a really big help if you could go and just leave me a review. I don't care if it's 1 star because you don't like the podcast. I don't care if it's 5 stars because you love the podcast. At least you're honest. But I would love it so much. It would be so much appreciated. And I'll even bring it up on the show. I'll read your reviews on the show if you'd like me to. But it would be really helpful if you could just go to iTunes and rate the show. And it would be awesome. I'd love you so much. So that's about it. Oh, and the intro music at the beginning of the show is provided by Ben Sound at bensound.com. So that's going to be it. Unless you want to stick around for the future of Trove, where we talk all things spoilers about Trove, what happened in the live stream today, all that other jazz. And so, with that said, we're going to mute my microphone and play a little ditty.
Marty! You've got to come back with me! Where? Back to the future!
Awesome. All right. So, thanks for sticking around. Spoilers are ahead. The main thing that I want to talk about in the future Trove is last week I was going to talk about the Shadow Titan, but we already talked about that this week. The newest class has been officially data mined. Now, keep in mind that data mined. Oh, I'm going crazy. So that said, the class, it's not official until Trove says it's official. So everything in this segment today is theory and what is in the files that we assume. So a player or a Trovian on the forums by the name of Wolf Bottoms, who is the one who made the official post. So I'm assuming they're the one that found it. And let's actually do one of these things here. Let's boop, and then let's switch you to subregion, and then hit OK. Turn on monitor capture. Hit the button. No, hold on here. What's going on here? Image. I forgot how to do this. On here. Good radio, great radio. Window capture. There you are. There you are, right there. Okay, cool. You can see it. I'm gonna switch that to full screen here and turn my face off real quick. This is purely for the video, and I'm still... Oh, that looks terrible. Well, can you guys read that? You guys can't read that, but you can see the pictures, right? Cool. Zoom that in a bit. Hold on, just a half a second here. Select a region. I'm going to shrink-a-dink you down a bit. And we're going to shrink-a-dink you down. And shrink-a-dink you over. Shrink-a-dink, whoops. Whoa, I broke it. Ah, stream's going crazy. Oh my gosh, someone save me. Okay, cool, I fixed it. I did it, yay. Okay, so if you look up in the top of my screen here, for the video, and I'll of course narrate it also, they data mined the Lunar Lancer. Bunch of files have been found as well for the head, the shoulders, knees and toes. Anywho, for the Lunar Lancer, they use a lance as a weapon. Now, it's not confirmed whether they also use a shield or not, but based on some of the concept art that they showed in the live stream today, it does not look like they will use a shield, but it's unconfirmed. So they have a little head and a lance as a proto weapon there. And then I'll try to find it here. Also, nope, that's Fossilbuster's website. Nope, that's Steam Charts. I'm so lost. I don't know where I'm going anymore. Somebody save me. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Oh, I know where I need to go. The Reddit. When in doubt, Reddit is good. Usually I am prepared for this. It's happening. Marketplace. Lunar Lancer. Imagers over capacity with a giraffe. No, giraffe is not confirmed as the next class. I want to get a bigger picture. Can I do that? View the image. Well, kind of works. If you guys can see that, right? Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry for my unpreparedness here. subregion, select the region, rink-a-dink you down again, drag you over here, and then we'll just hit OK. All right, so this image is the most important of them all because it will have an ultimate mechanic somehow. Pretty much, they didn't announce it or say anything, but they showed an image, and you can see Grump right there in the corner there. Hi, Grump Tug. So anyway, in the image, it was labeled Ultimate, which is a hint, a suspected hint also, pure suspicion that this class will have an ultimate ability that involves this form here. Which looks really amazing. It's like a modified of the random Shadow Titan events that happen around the world. So it's going to be awesome and great, and I am super excited to see what they do with the Lunar Lancer. Oops, and those are show notes right there. Turn that off. Okay, so that's pretty much it. What I'd love to see with this class is a completely new mechanic, where because they said in one of the streams that this class is going to be light lunar kind of damage based, not a new damage type, but like lunar style abilities. So kind of like the moon. Lunar is the moon, I do believe. Hold on here. Ignore the typing here. Lunar. Yeah, so it was lunar. The definition is an adjective of, determined by, relating to, or resembling the moon. So lunar, I would like to see some sort of new energy function where you build up energy by doing your attacks, and then when your energy meter is full, you evolve into this lunar being, and then it lowers your energy. Very similar to the Tomb Raiser with energy regen, but it wouldn't benefit from energy regen. It would just kind of have a combo point, not a combo point style, but just generate your energy or your rage or whatever you want to call it. When you hit the cap, you automatically evolve into this being. You use your abilities, and then that lowers your energy down to 0. And then you switch back to your form, and then you do more fighting, and then it goes back up. I'd love to see something like that done, but it's all pure speculation right now how this class actually works. So we will have to see, and we can only wait until more when they actually talk about it more. And also, I thought I'd throw this in there. Class changes are being removed next week. You'll be able to change your class on the fly. Basically, they're removing the class changer from the game. You won't be able to craft it anymore, but it will still be there if you have one. So if you're like me and you like nostalgic items, make sure you have a class changer now because they're removing them in the future. And it's just going to be a hotkey, and you'll just push the hotkey and change it on the fly. So, yeah. That's pretty much it for this week. Yeah, I think that's really it. So I'm going to call this a show. I know I dragged it on super long, but it's kind of a mega, ultimate, super mega awesome show of 2 weeks combined into one. So thanks everyone for watching and listening, and I will see you all next week. Bye.